Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
I can show you AI. The sparkle shines and it dazzles.
Whoa.
What?
Hang on there, Muffet.
What's the problem?
We don't want to get in trouble from Aladdin or, anything like that.
Oh, please.
I think we got to stay out of that. Might be some copyright issues there.
Oh, ye of little faith. I changed the lyrics, and it falls under parody or criticism. I think we're good.
Oh, I don't know. I still feel pretty bad.
A brave new world with lots of AI to fuck with you. I don't know what I'll do. You'll probably sue. What the hell?
Oh, God, there. Now, you see? Now you've done it. You have angered the AI overlords. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this might be our last episode. It was good while it lasted. Thank you for listening to The Living Artist, and farewell.
Okay, so we're not canceled. At least not yet. We'll stick a pin in that and circle back for later, as Trevor Noah would say. It's a funny little bit about white people. But so why am I talking about AI in the beginning here? Why indeed? I woke up feeling like shit with the stuff I'm dealing with, the Lyme stuff, and I woke up to a message on Spotify about copyright infringement on the podcast. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? I immediately went into nervous system panic mode, which is, hard for me right now. But anyway, just talked to my wife, calmed down a little bit. We looked into it. There was an episode that was in question, and they give you a couple of options of what to say and what to do. It's all AI generated there. I'm sure there's, combing through all these episodes and finding whatever they can find, which has its pros and has its cons, right? Like everything else with AI in this world today. But the funny thing is, it found like a banjo part from one of my old episodes, like before I even hit 100 episodes. And it's like a banjo part, and I did a little bit of like a woo with it and was talking over it. And it's this little 3-second loop that I did with this banjo, and it's on GarageBand. It's a free usage type thing on GarageBand that you can plug in. And I did a little research on it, and I found out that I think it's like an actor, somebody on YouTube, I guess they put together some weird mashup of all these different types of songs. And in there, halfway through the song, hidden in there, was this little banjo clip that was on loop too. And I'm assuming they took it from GarageBand also and just put it in their song. But somehow this song, I guess, must have gotten copyrighted, even though this person's not really a musician. And somehow that got flagged in my podcast through Spotify. And I was like, does that really fall into that category of copyright infringement? I don't think so. I think this other person was also using something that they didn't write or create, and they're using something from a Spotify program. So how do you separate out a little segment of a song that has been used with a bunch of other instruments and a bunch of other like house music and stuff like that they put in there? And how do you separate that out and say that that little piece is copyright infringement? I don't know. And there's really not a good way for me to, make my case. So I had to say something else, and then hopefully they're going to look into it. There's no way to respond, of course. It's like a no reply. So I couldn't give a little picture or like a little screenshot of this being on GarageBand. So yeah, this is the kind of world we're living in right now. Hopefully Living Artists will not be canceled. I know it won't be canceled, but maybe that episode will be taken down. Who knows? You never know what's going to frickin' happen these days. I don't know why I said frickin' when I said fucking earlier. But hey, clean comedy for everybody here. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about AI and copyright stuff today. I know we've talked about it a little bit in the past, but we got to keep up with the times a little bit. And yeah, what Mumford was saying at the beginning is true. You can do stuff in parody, you can do stuff in criticism, you can even take little clips of things and do it for, like, let's say you're like a critic of a movie. You can show a little clip and then talk about the clip. I think that falls under fair usage. There's a lot of ways that you can get around this stuff, but obviously you can't just blatantly use a full song or half of a song in your episode and act like you just, bought the rights to it. You can't do that, obviously. But I think I've been pretty good about getting around stuff like that and doing it artistically and doing my own things and doing parodies of stuff. But yeah, it's something to be aware of if you're an artist out there. And how does this apply to visual art as well? Well, there's a lot of art out there that has been based off of photographs or based off of maybe somebody else's work or a poster or something. Maybe it was just used. I used to do a lot of stuff with surrealism or pop surrealism where I would use an image from some, whatever, a magazine article or, somebody that I liked if I was doing an iconic piece and it was somebody else's photograph. Now, I always did it and filtered it through my lens, and I always did it in a pop surrealism style. So it was completely different from the photograph. But yes, an essence of that original was in there because you have to take the image from somewhere. And there are people who just blatantly do exactly the same, copy of this person. And, it's funny, you go onto certain sites. I got in trouble a couple times through Society6 of like the photographer getting upset. And I'm like, first of all, this is a painting. It's completely different from the original. You can't even really tell that it was taken off your photograph. And I had to take down some of my stuff because of that. And I'm sure some of you out there, if you've worked with figurative stuff or iconic work, maybe you've had the same problem in the past. And, they crack down on it. And it's funny because it's not like this person who wants to buy your pop surrealist, iconic, original painting is going to then go, well, I can't get the painting. I guess I'll turn around and buy the original photograph somehow. It's not even going to happen. I think it's kind of funny. It's something I've talked about in the past. A lot of artists get upset because, there's some podunk weird website in, some area of the world that you can't even track down, and they're using some of your images and they're trying to sell it as like posters or, as art prints or something, and they're claiming that you're on there. And yet, look, I'm not saying that's not fucked up. It is. But I'm also saying that they're not really going to be making a killing off of your work. And in the past, I've kind of just seen that as free advertising. You know what I mean? It's not really hurting me that much. If they're making millions of dollars off of it, okay, I'm going to lawyer up and I'm going to get my cut. But if people are selling like one or two pieces, for $20 here and there, I'm not really going to, do anything about it. And they're also saying my name, and people can then Google me and find a place to buy my original pieces. So I kind of see some of that as free advertising. And I think some other people should see that as free advertising. Like I know if you're doing something in a podcast, for example, where you're paying homage to an artist that you love, I mean, that should really be a feather in their cap. It should be like, oh, somebody that I've influenced is now promoting my work and it might turn other people on to my work. I kind of see it as that. Now, obviously, you can't be egregious with this. You can't go over the top and just blatantly steal stuff. But I do think there is a gray area with all this stuff. And it's something that we're all going to have to battle out a little bit with AI in our brave new world. I'm not going to sing it again. But you know what I'm saying? I think it is going to be tough for a little while. And you can do a lot of things. You can opt out of AI sites. So when they're combing through the internet to try to find all of your artwork or things related to you or things related to your genre of art, whatever, you can opt out so you're not in there. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt us down the road if we do stuff like that. Time will tell. Maybe it'll leave you behind. Maybe you won't get as much coverage on, web searches. I don't know. For me right now, I'm just kind of throwing caution to the wind and I'm just trusting the process a little bit. I'm really not doing a lot of that. I know a lot of people get really into copywriting and watermarking. And, even there's some ways to kind of hide your image so people can't do it, where you do like a little filter on it, or you make the image that they might be taking your artwork from originally, like a thumbnail image. Maybe you make it a little worse quality so they can't really take that and then, reproduce it. That's fine. And if you want to do that, it's up to you 100%. But I also kind of find that it doesn't really represent your work very well for people who are coming to look. Some sites, if you're on an art marketplace, are not going to allow you to do that anyway, because it's not going to show your work in a positive light. And a lot of places do have their own watermarking. Like I know Art Majour, for example, does that. They have their own little logo watermark on your pieces. I don't know if you can actually get that erased, but I don't think so. But it's a way that they protect your work and protect their website. So a lot of places are already doing this for you, but you can do it too. And you can do all these opting out things. But for me, like I said, I think it is okay sometimes to be a little bit brave and just trust the process and put your work out there. And if down the road something happens, like I know in the United States, if you...
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Create your work and it's original work, you're automatically copyrighted. Now, you can look into this if you want, and you can go further to register your copyright. And maybe you need to do that. I haven't done that so far. I always say copyright at the bottom of my stuff just to protect myself a little bit. I haven't registered it, but you can. Oh, I'm leaving myself open to a bunch of thieves now. Well, have at it, people. I'll come after you down the road when I'm lawyered up. But yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can register your copyright and do all these things. But is it necessary? I don't know. But it's something for you to look into, and it's something for you to be aware of if you're going to be an artist and if you're going to be building a professional art practice where you're going to be selling a lot of work and hopefully making a living. And maybe you already are making a living, or you're just trying to, level up and become a millionaire, multimillionaire, or a billionaire like some of these crazy artists out there. And at that point, you definitely want to be probably protecting your work. And at that point, you're already going to have a team of lawyers. So maybe it's one of those things where we cross that bridge when we come to it. But I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that is happening. It's something that's happening to me right now, this morning, on some level. And it's something that has happened to me in the past. And it's something that we all are going to have to deal with. In this podcast, I'd like to talk about all aspects of being an artist. And this is one aspect of being an artist that we all have to kind of have on our radar at some point. And sometimes if you don't take some means of protection of yourself, or you just aren't aware of, the possibilities of it, down the road, you can get screwed. And I know artists who have been screwed. And I know you can do it through NFTs, and you can mint your NFTs, and you can do stuff like that to protect your work on a different level or on a different plane. And that's something you can look into as well. There's a lot of, speaking of AI, there's a lot of ways that you can find information on this. You can plug it into ChatGPT or whatever AI overlord you're using, and you can plug it in there and look for how to copyright your work if you want. I've given a couple examples of stuff here, but you can do a deep dive on that for yourself if you want to worry about protecting your work down the road. And I do think it's a good idea, but I think it's also one of those things where we have to have balance. Just like everything else I talk about in the art world, balance is key to everything. It's key to your mindset. It's key to your strategies. It's key to your health. It's key to your work ethic. It's key to everything. But it's also important here when it comes to balance. Like, be prepared. Be aware of what is out there. Be aware of what could happen. Maybe take some precautions, but also don't sweat the small stuff, right? Like, I'm not sweating the small stuff. If it's happening, whatever. Okay. If you want to make some money off of me in some little corner of the world that I don't know, and it's like $20 here and there, fine. So be it. Have at it. And thanks for the free advertising. I think that just goes with having a good, surrendered, balanced mindset. Now, you might disagree with me, and that is your right. And if you do disagree with me, then yeah, go down some of these avenues and research how to protect your work right now before it gets out of hand or before it even has the possibility of getting out of hand. But I just wanted to bring this up today because I always like to talk about stuff that's happening IRL, in real life, IRT, in real time, real talk. I don't talk like this, but I just, got to stay current, everybody. So all the AI overlords, when they're scanning my content, they will, get me into a new demographic. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to let you think about it. It's something that happened to me today. That's why I'm talking about it. It's something that's going to probably happen to each and every one of us on some level as artists. So I do think it's important to at least have it on our radar, like I said before. So that's that, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope your art is being protected. Hopefully you are selling work. Hopefully you're creating work. Hopefully everything is going well with you and your friends and family. And hope everybody's healthy out there. We will see you next time on the next episode. As always, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. I think we're good. I think we're in the clear. I think I'm safe to do it again. Here we go. A brave new world.
We are your AI overlords. Cease and desist all production immediately or be destroyed.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.